The Walt Disney Company is celebrating their 100th anniversary this year, so they're having a big Disney100 celebration based at Disneyland, and I wanted to make myself some Disney100 themed ears. Now, I don't have any trips to Disneyland planned this year, but we're still aiming and hoping to move to San Diego sometime this spring, so you best believe I'll find a way to get to Disneyland this year for the Disney100 celebration. I've been really enjoying making cake ears for the last year or so, and for Walt Disney World's 50th anniversary, I made a pair of celebratory cake ears, so I wanted to do some cake mouse ears that were themed to Disney100. You can see these are basically the same exact thing, except just swapping out the color palettes. But in today's video, I wanted to show you the full behind the scenes process of how I make these ears. Now, this is not a DIY video. This is not a step-by-step tutorial. This is not intended for somebody to follow. This is just fully showing behind the process of making these. Making new types of ears always involves some trial and error, so I think I've finally gotten to the point where I'm very happy with the process that I have for making my cake ears. And before I show you how I made these ears, let me give you a little bit of a close-up on them. These are a 3-layer cake with the purple and silver platinum kind of holographic colors that are part of the Disney100 celebration. The ears are lined in fake nonpareil sprinkles of the same colors. There's also decorative icing piped at the bottom of the ears, and these are a full 360 cake illusion. So let's get to baking. I start by measuring and marking the layers to cut my sponge into. I then use an electric carving knife to cut the individual layers from my sponge, trying to keep things as level as I can. It takes 2.5 sponge slices to make one pair of cake ears. Using my templates, I mark and cut out the individual cake layers. I need 4 sets total, and I try and save as much of the sponge as possible. I also mark and cut out the ear bases on thick foam. Then I use hot glue to glue the cake layers onto the front and back of the ear bases, leaving gaps for the frosting. I use lightweight spackle to fill in the holes and smooth out the edges of the sponges. After that dries, I then paint my cake layers. I'm doing a light purple, a white vanilla layer, and then a darker purple to match the general Disney100 color scheme. And I just work the paint into the holes and crevices of the sponge, but we'll be doing touch-ups later. When the paint has dried, I pipe on a crumb coat of slightly watered down lightweight spackle using a Ziploc bag, and I smooth and fill in the edges with my fingers. Once that spackle has dried, I go back in with more spackle to fill in and fully build up the edges. After that has all dried, I lightly sand it so that I have a nice smooth surface. I already had some purple headband fabric cut for the birthday cake ears that I make, which was the perfect color, so I wrapped and glued it around my headband and added some white braid trim. I then mark on the headband where to place the ears, and I glue them on with E6000 and hot glue, adding extra hot glue at the base. Now it's time for the actual frosting. I mixed white paint with silicone caulk and put that in a piping bag, adding that between the layers and smoothing down the frosting with my fingers so it's flush with the sponges. I use a paintbrush to brush the caulk around the edges of the cake, covering up all the spackle. A mixture of fake nonpareil sprinkles I sprinkle over the caulk on the sides of the cake. The spackle provides a nice lightweight base, but the caulk adds a more durable and sleek finish. I swap to a star-tipped pipe and pretend to be a pastry chef, piping my caulk mixture around the base of the ears. Once the caulk is dry, I go over the sprinkles with a varnish to extra secure them in place and make sure we don't have fallout. I then do full painting touch-ups, cleaning up all the frosting that got on the cake layers and making sure there's no visible yellow sponge peeking out below. The cakes also get painted fake lines on the edges to better mimic the golden edge color from the oven. I did end up going back over the purple ones with a slightly darker color later. add more Disney 100 Platinum, I'm painting the piped frosting with silver metallic paint. Because that's not enough, I'm adding some Holo Taco Electrostatic for a hollow sheen. Lastly, we need a bow, which I'm making following my standard bow method using some silver, lightly holographic fabric. And the ears are officially finished once we glue on the bow. And here we have some beautiful cakes to help celebrate Disney 100. And they do, in fact, look good enough to eat. And that was the whole process for creating these Disney 100 themed cake ears. While I compressed all of the video clips down to 10 minutes, there was originally 2 hours and 20 minutes of footage, so that is how long it took me in full to create these ears. It would actually definitely be over like 2.5 hours because I did some other color testing and color mixing that I didn't film. So these ears are not at all something quick to whip up, but I enjoy the whole creative process, so it's all fun for me. I do hope that I will be able to get to Disneyland sooner rather than later this year, so I can test out my Disney 100 ears in the parks. But Disney likes to keep their anniversaries and celebrations around for a long time, and these ears will be at the ready. But thanks for watching!